All right, I think it's finally time. I'm gonna propagate this monstera albo. Now, I'm just gonna talk about it as I do this. So this will be a long, kind of rambling conversation between me and the nobody who's actually here in person. And my other problem is that I lost my pruners, so all I have is a pocket knife. So that'll have to be good enough. So I got this last winter, right near the end of winter, as a 2-leaf cutting. So it was these 2 leaves, and now it's grown these 3. That looks good. This is the latest one, right there in the front. This is a pretty large plant. I mean, you can see how big it is. And it's got a couple empty nodes as well. So I'm gonna propagate it. The cutting with this leaf is gonna go to my friend. I'm gonna trade that to him for some plants. The 3-leaf top cutting is gonna be my personal plant that I'm gonna keep trying to mature and hopefully one day flower. And then the cutting with this leaf will have multiple nodes, and that one I'm gonna save to sell. Well, sorry, not to sell right now, to sell eventually. First I need to unpot it. Pull this grass out of here. I like having weeds in my plants. It's kind of weird. I completely ignore them and they do great. So there's a lot of grass and little seedlings of like pine and maple trees in other pots. There's also a lot of clover, but that's a more recent development. Okay, this seems like it's going to be tougher than I thought it would be. Okay, it seems like it might actually be impossible to do. I was hoping to keep talking, but this is taking all my concentration. Just try not to break anything. Okay. Oh boy. Look at that root ball. Due for a repot regardless of the propagation. Okay. Now I'm gonna cut it. Yeah, now I'm gonna cut it. First I'm gonna take the top cutting, which I did already root in separate pots of soil. So it's pre-rooted and very healthy. Go. Nice cutting. This is really pretty. And this is pretty mature as far as albos go. I think. I don't know, very soft period. So yeah, this I will set aside. I'll let it callus. I'll pot it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna give it a moss pole. If I do, it's gonna be a soil pole rather than a moss pole because I want to be able to pull them off easier in the future because I will eventually have to extend it and propagate. But I think I'm not gonna do that. I think I'm gonna do a wooden pole and let it climb up that. But yeah, that's really nice. That's nice stuff. So, a bit of backstory. This plant, I bought it, like I said, under a year ago. It was $200, but instead of buying it for $200, I bought it for $100 and a box of plants. So that was a pretty early trade that I did. In fact, I've only done 2, though I'm absolutely hoping to trade more plants in the future, because I don't actually sell that many plants as much as I want to and try to, so I can't really get new rare plants that easily. So, oh boy, this is gonna be harder than I thought it was without my pruners. Sorry. I'm also trying to be safe, obviously. Practice good knife safety. I'm gonna pause the camera and do this. Okay, it's cut. That was much harder than I anticipated, which ironically is the same thing that happened when I cut my Spiritus Sancti, and the bottom cutting of my Spiritus Sancti was one of the plants I traded for this one. So that's funny. Let's see. Now hopefully I can just shake all the soil off of here. This is actually going surprisingly well. Well, the cutting didn't go that well, but I was expecting it to be a nightmare to get these separated. It seems like it might not be. All right, I might have spoken too soon. All right, we have to bust out the big guns. And by that, I mean, I would usually use a chopstick, but I don't have any, so this metal camping stake. Just to try to separate roots from each other. You know what? I'm gonna pause the camera for this as well. Okay, cuttings are separated. This one will go to a friend. Got really nice roots. Very healthy. And then lay this down here. Quit making a mess. And I got my personal one that I will keep to propagate off of. Has even more roots. Look at this mess. And so right here you can see this is the original stem, and then it grew this stem, which has 3 nodes. I can see the auxiliary bud on this uppermost node. So what I'm hoping will happen is this uppermost node will activate, grow, and I can cut that off, and then I'll have 2 mother plants. So, and they'll both grow less mature than my personal one, but they'll still be nice and big. So now I think this one will go back into the same size pot, and that one will go into a slightly different pot if I have one. So definitely some roots ripped off, but you know what? It's a-okay. Propagating monsteras in their pot, that's just how it goes. I don't think you can avoid it. Well, maybe a professional could avoid it, but in my experience, I've never been able to avoid it. Okay. Now I purposefully put this in here kind of low down so that if you see my coconut video, I sort of did it with that on accident. In the future, when it gets root bound, I can keep it in the same size pot, but just raise it up, and then I'll give it a few more inches to grow downwards. But there we go, that's one. This will probably go back in the same spot or maybe on the floor. I have some room for big plants on the floor in there. Okay, then this cutting might be able to fit, let's see, what random pots do I have? In here. Yeah, I think that'll do. Okay. So yeah, that'll go into this pot, which is much smaller. I also don't have all that much aeroid soil, so I don't want it to go into a massive pot as much as it would prefer it, and I would prefer it. I just can't do that. Man, this is gonna be a boring video for whoever watches it. If you watch this far, I don't know. Congratulations, I guess. It's kind of a waste of time, but if you like it, thank you. I'm surprised. So this one will be going to my friend. I wonder if I have something to help hold it down while it's rooting. Where did my camping stake go? I don't know, but I have this one. This one's different. All right, yeah, there we go. That one will go to my friend. He'll probably see this video before he even knows that I propagated it, so this is coming to you. This is a nice cutting, actually. This has a really nice variegation. Okay, and last but definitely least, nah, I'm just kidding. Last but not least, the top cutting. You can see the roots here, got some new aerial roots, old aerial roots that I propagated in soil. And so I'm gonna plant it very upright with the leaves sticking way out forwards. I think I'm gonna do it in a pretty small pot for now. Maybe even this size. Yeah, I think I am gonna do this size. So it's very small, but it doesn't have a lot of roots yet, so I think that'll be right. And I'm gonna have to use some Velcro to tie it so it doesn't fall over in the greenhouse, but that's okay. Okay, and there we go. The top cutting looks fabuloso. That's probably gonna be the thumbnail right there. YouTuber thumbnail. So yeah, this is that latest leaf. Looks good. It does have some mealy bugs I can see. In fact, while I've got it out, I might as well just spray down everything. You too, floor monsteras. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I will probably post an update on this when it has grown, I suppose. So thank you for watching. That's all I have for today. Bye.